People used to ask me like, oh, how do you get rid of the negative voice? I'm like, I don't know that you want to. Like, the negative voice is a powerful reminder to practice gratitude. It's also a good reminder that maybe something is wrong. Maybe you are doing something wrong and you should adjust and you should rethink.
I should say activity without purpose is the drain to your life. Activity without purpose is the drain to your life. It's the drain to your wealth, it's the drain to your lifestyle. If you can develop a psychology of resilience in yourself, you don't have to be optimistic or fake, you can be real. The realness is whatever shows up, you are larger than anything that can happen to you. I'm telling you, this is the secret, the real secret, to shift it inside of you and to add the real value. Most people are trying to pursue something in the future that they already have. It says, no more, I'm gonna change this. And suddenly you do something to make your life better. You break out of the impossibility of life has to be this way, life is controllable.
And so the model for me is this, and I just want to say this to everybody. There's probably a point in your life where you were given a script of who you were supposed to be, whether it's your parents or your friends or your spouse. And we live too often in our lives some other person's script, right? Someone else's script. Remember this, you're the lead character in the story of your life, and the person who controls that script is you and your God. And at any point, you can decide to step into a new chapter. You can step in to be a whole new leading character.
A day at a time with the big picture in mind. I mean, we all want to be heading somewhere, but if we're staring at that mountaintop, we're going to trip on the way. You know, and I would say this, that yes, we want the vision, but when we get to the top of that proverbial mountain, it is not a ta-da moment. It is not a, now I've got it. No, by the time you get there, you've got double the amount of ambitions and opportunities and challenges ahead of you than you did when you started. And it's great, because that means you've evolved. It means there's been some ascension to life. Stay in the race, commit to the chase. Realize individually and as a people that that's as good as it gets. Meaning we're never gonna reach our fully transcendent self. That's the point. We keep chasing it. We're never gonna have perfect justice in society. That's the point. You keep trying to get it. You know, we're just tapping into the 11%. And if we can say, oh, the process, we stay in it. Yes, we want to know where we're going. We want to write the headline first and go, I'm gonna hit that place. That's where I want to be. Well, you get there, the headline is not exactly as you wrote it before you took off. Hopefully it's generally in the same storyline structure, but it's always yet, because even when you get where you think you want to be, you're still going, oh, this is just on the way to yet.
Most people aren't. That doesn't mean there isn't something you could be great at. There's lots of hierarchies to attempt to climb, and if you fail in one, go try in another. But the point is, you're still trying to aim for the top. What the hell are you going to do if you don't try to aim for the top? You know, flap about uselessly and whine about your life? It's not helpful. It'll just make you miserable. You're not reliable to anyone. You can't help out in a crisis. It's like, so you tell young people, and this is another message for conservatives, like, I don't care what you're going to do, but go out there and make something of yourself for God's sake. Be an honest person and work and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. You know, and stand up for yourself like a respectable human being and be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight. You know, and you can tell young people that, and they haven't been told that by anyone now. And so the young men are so hungry for that it's painful to watch. They're so relieved when someone finally comes up and says, hey, you know, you get your act together a bit, discipline yourself, see if you can learn to tell the truth, concentrate on something for a year or two, you can be a bloody world beater.
When you can do that and start to feel great about little things, every day starts to feel like Christmas. And when you can say, I love the change, every change in my life is change for the better. There's something good coming from this. When you can remember you must take control of the direction of change in your life and make it change for the better. When you can do that, your life is extraordinary.
And so what I tell people is, because you're more likely to believe something negative, don't even worry about what's true. Worry about what empowers you. Both of those narratives are based on facts. So the truth of one or the other doesn't matter. One is empowering and one is disempowering. Act in accordance with the one that's empowering.
Unbelievable! What a foolish word. A rude and disrespectful word. We think we use it to flatter and give credit to, wow, what an unbelievable play. What an unbelievable film. What an unbelievable act of courage. What an unbelievable sunset. Now, why would we define things that are incredible and awesome, things that actually make us believe in them more, with this pillar of autonomy? Unbelievable. The things we usually say unbelievable about are the things, as I said, that make us believe in the awesomeness of life more.
Each other all the time, don't they? Another form of distraction is just doubt, and doubt comes from the suffer. It comes from a loss. It comes from fear. It comes from the sacrifice. And so just remember this. You're supposed to suffer and sacrifice. So let me ask you a question. What are you willing to risk in order to make your dream come true? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You're going to take a risk. Maybe it's financial. Maybe it's a risk of time. Maybe it's a risk at your job. Maybe it's a risk of looking bad. Maybe it's a risk of failing, of falling on your face, of going broke, of going through pain, of going through anxiety. Maybe it's even a risk in a relationship that's just going to be difficult while you do this. What are you willing to risk in order to win? And you have to accept that, because remember what I'm going to tell you. The price you will pay for not making your dream come true is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true.
Well, you're nowhere near what you could be. That's the positive message. It's like, yeah, you're a mess, but you don't have to stay that way.
The constraints we put on ourselves, our potential, those are man-made. Who the hell do we think we are putting those ceilings above ourselves? That's a very arrogant thing for me and us to do. It's an arrogant thing for us mortals to put a roof over our head and go, well, that's as good as it can get. That's as much as I can succeed. That's as much as I can love. That's as sad as I can get. That's as happy as I can get. Now, no more. Again, we're just tapping into the 11%. Most of the times we think our wax is melting on our wings because we're too close to the sun. There's still ice and snow on the ground. It ain't even close to being hot enough to melt the wax. We've got so much further that we can fly that we do not give ourselves the credit for. So take the roof off and say, no, this is not even close as good as it can see. I'm tapping into the 11%. I've got, trust me, I trust that we have so much further we can fly than we even mortally give ourselves credit for. And to put a ceiling on ourselves is actually arrogant.